Happy February 5th, 2026. You know, if you're staring at a set of house keys right now and thinking about selling, all the conventional wisdom tells you to wait.
It does.
You wait for the daffodils, for better light. You wait for the spring. But we've got a stack of data here from Rightmove and any EA property mark that suggests that a whole spring bounce idea is, well, maybe a bit of a myth.
It's more than a myth. It's a bit of a trap. I mean, if you sit on your hands waiting for spring, you're actually statistically lowering your chances of a sale.
Okay, and this isn't just a hunch. We're talking about a huge analysis here.
A huge one. Millions of listings. Rightmove looked at a whole 10-year period, and they took out 2020, the pandemic anomaly, and the winter isn't May. It's not even April.
So our mission today is to really pinpoint that absolute peak moment for selling. And you're saying the data points to, rather well,
It points exactly to February.
which just feels wrong, doesn't it? It's cold, it's gray out. Why would February outperform the pretty months?
It all comes down to the conversion rates, the raw data. Rightmove shows that 68.9% of homes that are listed in February find a buyer.
68.9.
That is the highest completion rate of the entire calendar year.
Okay, but I am looking at the rest of the chart here, and I see January and March are sitting at 68.8%. I mean,
Yeah,
that's a difference of 0.1%. Are we actually splitting hairs here?
it really looks like it on the surface, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But you have to look at the context, specifically the context of volume.
Ah.
March is effectively tied for probability, you're right, but it's also the busiest month by a long shot for new listings. The market just gets flooded.
Right. So in March, I'm suddenly competing against everyone else who waited for the flowers to bloom.
Exactly. Whereas in February, you've got all this high buyer demand people with their new year, new home energy, but the inventory just hasn't spiked yet. You stand out.
So February is the sweet spot. It's about efficiency, high demand, low competition.
That's it.
What about speed, though? Because finding a buyer is one thing, but actually getting the whole thing over the line is another.
That's a great point. And January actually wins on pure speed. It's about 47 days on average to find a buyer.
Okay, and February.
February is right on its heels, 48 days.
So we're talking about a difference of 24 hours.
It's negligible, really.
Yeah.
But you compare that to later in the year, the so-called worst month is October, and the success rate there drops to 65.4%. Now, that is a significant gap.
Okay, let's pivot to the now then. It's February 2026. Historical data is one thing, but every market is different. What are NAEA property marks saying about this year specifically?
Well, Mary Lou Press, their president, she's calling 2026 buoyant.
Buoyant. That's a classic real estate euphemism, isn't it? Usually that means not sinking, but not exactly skyrocketing either.
I'd say it means stable and active. And she points to three specific things that are pulling the market up right now. First, the Bank of England's base rate. It's finally moving in the right direction, easing that affordability crunch we saw a couple of years back.
Which has a direct knock-on effect for mortgage products.
Right. The banks are getting competitive again. They're releasing products aimed squarely at first-time buyers. And, first-time buyers are the engine of the whole chain.
If they can't buy, nobody can move up.
Precisely. And the third lever is regulatory confidence. The government is pushing ahead with reforms to the home buying process. When people feel the system is getting even a little bit less archaic, they're more willing to jump in.
So let's bring it back to the seller. If I'm listening to this and I decide, no, I'm going to wait for the traditional peak in May, what am I actually risking?
You're risking a drop in conversion probability of about 1.2%. By May, that success rate falls to 67.7%.
Which doesn't sound like a massive number, but on a macro scale, across the whole country, that's thousands of sales that just fail.
It is. You're entering a saturated market, buyers have too much choice, and you've completely missed what you could call the Goldilocks window. That February spot where buyer urgency meets a lack of competition.
It's really a case of data versus tradition, isn't it? We make so many of these huge financial decisions based on, on folklore.
And the numbers are just sitting there telling a different story. The supply is low right now.
It just leaves me with this thought. If the crowd wisdom is wrong about the best time to sell your single biggest asset, how many other major decisions are we making based on tradition instead of just looking at the raw numbers? Something to think about. Thanks for the breakdown.